4 things I know are true. The Keyshawn Johnson era in Tampa is over, and so's the Bucs season. No baseball player since Babe Ruth has dominated his era the way Barry Bonds is dominating this one. Britney Spears has a lot of nerve being that dope in the middle of the Beyonce era, and I'm Max Kellerman, stuck in the Woody Page era.
It's Around the Horn, a show of competitive banter. Here's Max Kellerman.
Welcome back to the McLaughlin Group on THG. We're talking trade rumors regarding A-Rod, a possible new chef in the Bronx, and Michael Jackson, all with our national panel. And here they are. At the Los Angeles Times, it is Bill Plaschke. What's up, Bill? At the Denver Post, it's Woody Page.
I pity you.
At the Chicago Sun-Times, it's Jay Mariotti.
I'm stuck in Bill Plaschke error here.
And at the Boston Globe, it's Michael Smith. What do you say, Michael?
That is a dashingly good-looking suit you have there, Max.
Yes, you as well. It's amazing. Very nice.
Thank you.
With a show that scores the argument, and here's how I do it with these joysticks and mute buttons. I give these guys points based on point of view, style, and information. Good answers get 2, great ones 3, and I use the mute button to penalize and direct traffic, like this. I just muted Woody Page again. We eliminate guys, so a one-on-one showdown determines the winner. Let's make it happen.
It's the first word.
The first words are just, give me a damn job. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have excused wide receiver Keyshawn Johnson from all team-related activities and will make him inactive for the remaining 6 games this season. Sources close to Keyshawn say the move is a prelude to the off-season trade of the former #1 overall pick. So, guys, what do you think of this move by the Bucs? Around the Horn of Bill Plaschke.
Tremendous move. Congratulations go to the Glazers for giving John Gruden the power to do this, and to John Gruden for actually doing it. This is a coach who had lost control of his team. He's taking control back. This is a coach who saw his Super Bowl champions be turned into an I formation team. Everybody thinking about themselves. He's making the best move he can make to tell them he's still boss, it's still about the team. Plus, remember, Keyshawn's not exactly Jerry Rice here. He's caught less than 5 touchdowns catches a season. His 4 seasons there. He only caught one touchdown catch during the playoffs last year.
Fewer than 5 catches. But go ahead.
This is such a mistake. They're in a position still to make a playoff run, and here's a guy that every time he catches the ball picks up 14 yards. It was just 3 weeks ago that he had a dozen catches. I think they're making a bad mistake. If you want to get rid of him after the playoff run. They have, as I mentioned yesterday, if you look at this...
But Woody, where there'll be a playoff run if Keyshawn's on the team? I think that's the point that Plaschke's making. Go ahead, Jay.
No, Bill is right and you're right, Kellerman. I mean, there is not going to be a playoff run until they weed out the sludge. That's what Gruden said yesterday. I need to get this stench out of Raymond James Stadium. It turned out to be Keyshawn. Look, he has been a poison. Every time you look in the sidelines, he's scowling. He's always in Gruden's ear. He has been a problem. And Bill is also right. He is not Jerry Rice. He's not a game-breaking receiver anymore. He didn't catch a single pass over 40 yards this year. So way to go, John Gruden.
Michael.
Well, I'm in agreement with both, Jay and Bill. I think this was a good move. I mean, Keyshawn Johnson has told friends for some time around the league that he's out of there after this season. This never was a good fit, he and Gruden, since, he first got there. They've always been arguing. They've always been at each other's throats. He had to get rid of him. He had to do it. And Warren Sapp's not far behind. He's going to be gone next year as well.
All right, but hold on. Just to remind everyone, they did win the Super Bowl with Keyshawn last year. Here's the question. Woody, we'll start with you. Would you trade for Keyshawn if you're a contending team in the offseason?
Of course, I would trade for him. Mariotti failed to mention that he has caught a pass for 39 yards. How many guys have caught passes for more than 40 yards this year? He is an exceptional receiver. He's still young enough. He's still fast enough. He can still pick up the yardage. He is a great possession receiver.
Okay, he's a possession receiver. We know, Jay.
Woody, he costs a ton of money to be a big problem for a team. I mean, if I'm Philadelphia, I've got a lot of money problems. I've got to really consider this, but at the same time, I'm Andy Reid. I say, look, kid, are you ready to produce for us, or are you going to be a pain in the butt, right?
Plaschke?
While it's great that he's leaving Tampa, I'd trade for him in a minute because any team will get him for nothing. Tampa will probably eat some of his salary. Right. He's stuck. It's a good move, but Tampa is ensuring now that they're not going to get much for him.
Michael, last word.
There's never been any question that Keyshawn Johnson's competitive. I'll tell you a team that should trade for him, the New England Patriots. He's going to be my neighbor. They got two first-rounders, 2 second-rounders, 2 fourth-rounders, and a ton of cap space next year.
GM?
I could.
Next topic. Your NL MVP for a record 6th time is Barry Bonds, who ran away from Albert Pujols for the award this afternoon. Bonds hit .341, had his 3rd consecutive consecutive season with an on-base percentage over 500 and slugged 749, but he only played in 130 games. Pujols hit 20 points higher than Bonds and had 34 more ribbies, but was 80 points lower in both on-base and slugging, the two most important stats. Hey, Mariotti. Hey, did you know that?
You didn't.
Guys, considering he's been subpoenaed to testify regarding THG, is there a cloud hanging over this award for Bonds? Around the horn to Jay Mariotti.
Well, I think there is a cloud over him, but first some props for Barry. I mean, Kellerman, you're talking about Kareem and Gretzky territory. 6 MVP awards for Barry Bonds, under duress with his father's death. I mean, I've never been more impressed by this man. 39 years old with those sort of numbers this year. That said, look, he has an association with Balco here. He is in the middle of this situation. Baseball does not need Barry Bonds to be caught up in another steroid scandal. He is one of the shining lights of Major League Baseball, going after Henry Aaron's record in the next 2 years. You do not need him to be in the middle of this.
Once again, if these were the Salem witch trials, you'd be batting leadoff torch. It's ridiculous. Barry Bonds is involved in Balco as a witness, not as a suspect. He is innocent of anything. Nobody's proven anything about this guy. And furthermore, I'm going to ask you a question. When's the first time he hit over 30 homers and 100 RBIs?
Well, that was in the early 90s.
The first time he hit over 600 slugging percentage, 1992. He's been doing this for more than a decade.
Yeah.
Before his body changed. Who knows why his body changed, but we have no right to say anything about it until we have proof.
It's been 15 years he's been producing. Yeah, no doubt about it.
There is a cloud over this, unfortunately, but there should not be a cloud over it. I mean, regardless of who he's associated with or what he's taken or the allegations or whatever, the guy's got a great batting average. He's a great hitter. Steroids, any kind of supplements, that has nothing to do with your hands, with your eyes. The guy drew 61 intentional walks as opposed to 58 strikeouts. More intentional walks than strikeouts. He's a great hitter. We give it to him because of the numbers. And when you think about steroids and that type of thing, you associate that with power. Now, maybe his home run should come into question, but not his batting average. Not his
on-base percentage is risen every year.
I have to straighten you guys out as the voice of reason on this program.
Oh, my goodness.
Let me tell you what I would do if I were Bonds. Next season, I would be tested once every 6 weeks because you can cycle the steroids out after 6 weeks. If I were Bonds, I would prove to everybody I'm not on roids. I would take an entire year and take those tests and show, and then there wouldn't be a need, Mariotti, for an asterisk. There wouldn't be a need for a cloud. There wouldn't be a need for any kind of problem. Until he does that, we're always...
Okay, we get it. Jay, respond.
The feds busted into his trainer's house, Woody, in California. I mean, Plaschke, you're crazy to stick your head in the sand about steroids. I'm not saying he's guilty of anything. All I'm saying is he has an association with Balco that baseball
you made that point already. Plaschke, respond.
Both Jay and Woody, you're both saying he's guilty of it. Let's cut to the chase here, and you're both wrong about that.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's put it this way. Barry Bonds, for years, was the best player in baseball. Then suddenly, Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, their foreheads seemed to triple in size and their home run totals exploded. Suddenly, Bonds is just one of the best players in baseball. Then Barry Bonds' forehead seemed to triple in size, and suddenly he's by far the best again.
You're on to something.
Your forehead is tripling in size.
How do you... I love that. I'd like to do that all day.
Fire cells next.
Coming up, could Alex Rodriguez and Gary Sheffield both wind up in the Big Apple next season? The rumors are flying. Plus, will anyone want to coach T-Mac now that the franchise has been run into the ground? For the Horn! Buy or sell?
It's buy or sell time. Let's keep it moving. First topic. As we figured yesterday, the Orlando Magic axed head coach Doc Rivers after they lost by 2 at Utah Monday night. This was Doc's 5th season, and the Magic are 1-10. They've made the playoffs the last 3 years. Former Sixer coach Johnny Davis took over the team on an interim basis. So buy or sell, head coach of the Orlando Magic as a job you'd want. Flash.
No, I'm selling this bad job. If a great guy like Doc Rivers can't make it work, who can make it work? Since Shaquille O'Neal left in '96, they've had 3 coaches in 8 years and haven't won a playoff round since then. Bad team, stay away from it.
Woody.
Plaschke, you're so wrong. Of course I'm buying this. Let me give you 2 names. Tracy McGrady and Mickey Mouse. Not only do you have a team that you coach, but you're living in Orlando with all those theme parks.
That's right, and Woody Page can intellectually stimulate himself. Jay.
You know, I'm selling is the front office is a disaster. It's a Mickey Mouse operation. And Grant Hill, that whole situation continues to drag down the organization. I have to sell this as a good job.
Michael.
I'm going to sell it, too. I mean, I wouldn't want to work for an organization where you can be a coach of the year in your first year, go to the playoffs 3 straight years. At the first sign of trouble, you get canned. They got 8 new players, for goodness sake. Sell.
No doubt about it. The Grant Hill thing's submarine. That's all there's to it. In the league with a salary cap, a Grant Hill situation like that can finish it. Next topic. The New York Daily News reports that the Yankees are in talks with free agent right field monster Gary Sheffield. George Steinbrenner's spokesman denied the team had met with Sheffield, but a club source said there was a meeting Friday where a 2-year deal valued anywhere between $9 and $14 million per was discussed. Do you buy or sell Gary Sheffield as the right move for the Yanks? Woody?
Of course I'm buying this. Can you imagine when you have an outfield that includes Matsui and Sheffield, you put him in that lineup of 3-4-5 with Giambi? I think this is the move that George will make and should make. I'm buying.
Okay. I'm going to buy this. Everybody's talking Guerrero. He's too shy for the New York market. I mean, this guy, Sheffield, is built to play in New York. Max, they have all the money in the world. They can shore up the relief corps and go get a starter. Buy.
Michael?
I'm going to buy it. He's a great player, and right field has been a question in New York for some time now, but I buy as a better fit would be Keith Folk and everyday Eddie Guardado in the bullpen. Lefty-righty, best pin of all time right there.
You're stealing my points. Flashkey.
Yeah, I'd be buying Babe Ruth, too, but that's not going to happen. No, I'm selling this, guys. In the Bronx, you're known for what you do in October. In 66 postseason at-bats, Gary Sheffield has 6 RBIs. He's not a great postseason player. He wouldn't be a good fit there. Spend the money on a starting pitcher or 2.
Yeah, well, they have an unlimited budget, essentially, so they can get everything they want. They do have a hole in right field with Sheffield, but Michael Smith, you're stealing my point. You're absolutely right. Folk and Guardado, both on the market. Neither one's going to make 8 figures. You get them both if you're the Yankees. Say goodbye to the rest of the American League.
Can I get my points back?
On the same day that Mike Piazza told the New York Times that he is not seeking a trade, the tabloids disagree about the Mets being hot after Alex Rodriguez. The back page of today's New York Post screams that the Mets are actively pursuing the AL MVP. But the back page of today's Daily News reads, Nayrod, to describe the Mets' interest. Gotta love those Post and News headlines. Buy or sell the Mets going after A-Rod, Mariani?
You got to buy this. You know how it works in New York. The culture of New York, the Mets and the Yankees are competing for the back pages. The Yankees are overwhelming the Mets. The Mets 3 years ago almost did this A-Rod deal. Yep. They need to do it now. Buy it.
Michael?
I'm going to buy it. He's the best player in the American League. In the discussion.
Yep. Flashkey.
Jay, you're right. 3 years ago, they almost did it. Now, though, the time has passed. It's a different team now. It's a rebuilding team. I'm selling this. The Mets are like the Rangers were 3 years ago, rebuilding, signed A-Rod. What happened? They won fewer games each season he was there.
That's true, but it's not A-Rod's fault. Woody?
Billy Joe, wrong again. You're buying this. The Mets have to compete with the Yankees. This is the perfect player to complement Mike Piazza, whose career's running down. Yep. You've got to get those Mets fans back interested in a bad stadium and get those Dodgers and Giants fans back out to the ballpark.
That's right. The Mets inherited all those National League Giants and Dodgers fans when they left New York. New York wants to be a Mets town. How do you do that? You win. That's how you get the fans to come back. A-Rod's a good place to start. Flashkey. He doesn't hurt you if you have a $100 million payroll plus, and that's what the Mets have. Next topic. The San Francisco 49ers are still alive in the NFC after Jeff Garcia's backup, Tim Rattay, went 21 for 27 with 2 touches to beat the Steelers bad on Monday night. Carl Stewart writes in today's Oakland Tribune, if Jeff Garcia is as smart as he appears to be, he may not want to jump in front of the Tim Rattay bandwagon. It's moving way too fast and way too full of risk getting in its way. E.B. writing good article. Buy or sell the 49ers keeping Garcia on the bench in favor of Rattay, Michael Smith?
I'm going to sell it. You don't give up on a guy who orchestrated the second biggest comeback in NFL postseason history, who's been in 3 straight Pro Bowls. This guy, Rattay, he's playing well. Hasn't even played a full season over his career.
Okay, Flashkey.
All right, first off, none of you all should laugh at anything anybody writes on Deadline. You all should know better than that. I'm ashamed.
Well,
I'm
not
ashamed
me,
of you guys.
Flashkey. Not
yes,
me.
You're right. You can laugh. The rest of you guys should not laugh.
That's
all right. It absolutely, I am selling this. Tim Rattay needs to be the quarterback. Terrell Owens 3 times this year has caught passes for 100 yards or more. The 49ers are 3-0 in those games. Rattay and Owens work well together. Yep. Keep Rattay.
Yep. Yeah, I know he's supposed to be buying it, but Mariotti, he's right about you laughing about the deadline.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Will.
I am selling this. How in the world can you not remember, guys, I tell you, you do not lose your job to industry. What I do
industry to injury. See, Woody forgot the question. That's what really. Mariotti.
I'm buying Tim Rattay. He's been terrific. All you need to do is look at the smile on Terrell Owens' face last night. He got him the ball. They got a big game at Green Bay. Buy Tim Rattay.
Yes. Woody, can you lose your job to senility?
You guys shouldn't buy your suits at Walmart.
Woody, goodbye. You've lost your job to stupidity. Can I say that? No, that's not nice. Goodbye, Woody. We'll see you tomorrow. Out of bounds is next.
Coming up is removing the Bengals from the butt of every joke in America, enough to make Marvin Lewis Coach of the Year. And should Brian Greasy grab a little bench when Jay Fiedler's knee finally comes around? The Horn! I'm talking about pigskin! After 11 weeks, the Around the Horn Fantasy Football League continues to imitate real life as Smellerman recedes into mediocrity and Mariotti rounds the corner from being mocked to being pitied. As for today, Jay Mariotti has 21, Michael Smith has 26, Bill Plaschke has 28, and Woody Page lost his job to Animosity Troster Katri. Right now, it's out of bounds!
Out of bounds, where it's all inbounds. First topic. Michael Jackson's record drops today. New one, a compilation of the #1 hits called Number One. And sadly, it's not what the world will be talking about. Instead, it'll be all about the raid staged by sheriffs at Jackson's Neverland Ranch outside Santa Barbara. It's reportedly part of an ongoing criminal investigation. Guys, have Michael Jackson's monumental artistic achievements been eclipsed by his personal and legal difficulties? Let me guess what Jay Mariotti is going to say.
Well, you don't pity me, you pity Michael Jackson. I feel so sorry for this guy in a way because Kellerman, he had such a rough childhood, but he's a freak show. We should be remembering him for Thriller, the video, and some of the greatest music ever put out. He defined an era in music. Instead, the last 10 to 12 years of his life, one big running freak show, and now the latest news today, I don't know what's going to happen next.
Okay, Michael?
Jay, if you should be appreciating his music, then why don't you appreciate his music and not the freak show? Appreciate the art and not the artist, okay? I mean, this guy, like you said, he redefined an era. 50 million records of Thriller. I mean, this guy's music, forget about everything else. His music has been brilliant. He's a brilliant songwriter, brilliant singer, brilliant performer.
Yep.
Who isn't a star that does this?
Michael, I agree with you. He had more impact than probably any musician in history. However, you could no longer separate the artist from the art. The artist is such a wacko. He had a birthday party in downtown L.A. at a theater down the street from here last year. Only freaks showed up. No stars showed up. It was like a wacko convention. No, people don't even want to be associated with him anymore. They had the documentary last year from Great Britain that was just absolutely abhorrent watching the thing. Unfortunately, all anybody can think of is the face and the eye and the way he looks.
Jay, you know what else is sad today? The Beatles are putting out a compilation. It's going to get lost in this Michael Jackson thing. I mean, come on, Michael. You probably don't remember the Beatles, but they made more impact on culture than Michael.
Let me tell you what my generation, what Generation X is going to remember Michael Jackson for. When he did the moonwalk in Motown 25, seminal event for Generation X, that brought hip-hop from the margins to the mainstream. That one event more than anything else.
Moonwalk. Do it.
How about Mute Walk? Next topic. Britney Spears has been all over the place in the last couple of weeks promoting her new album, In the Zone. I watched the ABC special last night with everyone I truly love, which is to say, alone. Will Britney Spears eventually eclipse Madonna as a superstar? Jay?
Forgive me for sounding like a pig, but, you know, Britney is hot. I never viewed Madonna, who is in my age group, as hot like Britney Spears. Britney Spears redefines herself a lot like Madonna. Right now, she's into sexual exhibitionism, and you love it. Everybody loves it. The disembodied voice.
Wait, Mariotti, is that a word, sexual exhibitionism?
Yes.
Is that even a phrase?
Absolutely.
No, I think in 5 years, Britney Spears could be like Debbie Gibson. She's headed, she's moved too fast. You got to understand, she's already moved from pop star into her slut phase, and that's way too fast. Madonna took her 20 years to do it. Madonna's 41 years old.
Slow down there, Plaschke. You're moving a little too fast there. Go ahead, Michael. I like this phase. You can stay in this phase for a while. Go ahead, Michael.
You got to keep in mind the era that we're in. When Madonna was doing her sexy thing, I mean, that wasn't accepted very well. She was looked upon poorly. Now, that's pretty much accepted nowadays. It's almost embraced.
That's right.
Look, Britney Spears, the media, the attention that she gets is way more than Madonna could have ever gotten in her life.
Because she knows how to manufacture. She goes to 3 clubs in New York last week, and Max was probably there. She knows how to create a buzz for television.
She does. You know, the funny thing is, I was once having an argument with a friend when I was a little kid about Madonna, how long she'd last. Oh, in 5 years, she won't even be around. In 5 years, she won't even be around. Britney's going to be around for a while. Jay, you will not be around to see the next round, which is coming around the horn. Next, the showdown's next.
Coming up, most ladies forbid dirty magazines in the home, but they're the ones who keep Vicky's secret catalog around. The Horn!
Coming up on SportsCenter, does Bonds top our list of greatest team sport athletes? Who should start on Sunday for your fantasy teams? Plus, Drew Henson fields of football. SportsCenter, 6 Eastern, ESPN.
Showdown time. But first, disembodied voice.
I am.
You see Brittany last night?
Yes, but she didn't spend the night. Max, the Washington Post reports that Major League Soccer has signed a 6-year deal with 14-year-old phenom Freddie Adu and has signed him to D.C. United. And the Oakland A's have agreed to deal Ramon Hernandez and Terrence Long to the San Diego Padres for Mark Kotsay.
Interesting, interesting. First topic. Dolphins coach Dave Wannstedt said he'll wait until Wednesday to decide on his starting quarterback for Sunday's game against the Redskins, meaning Jay Fiedler, if he's recovered from a knee injury, could replace Brian Griese. If Fiedler's ready to go, who should start? Griese or Fiedler? 15 seconds each. Michael, go.
This should have never been a debate to begin with. I mean, you're talking about Jay Fiedler's 33-15 lifetime for these guys. He's their quarterback. Griese only went 2-2 when he was started. Didn't show anything. Poor stats. Griese's the guy. He's been their leader. That's been the main problem with this team. They've lacked a good decision making.
Michael, one thing different though. Griese can throw the long ball. He can go deep. He can make the big play. The Dolphins are a defensive-minded team that needs that big play. Griese's a perfect quarterback for him. I know Fiedler wins games, but Griese throws the long ball. Griese can get him out of trouble. He's the guy to be the quarterback.
He throws the long ball to the wrong team.
I just like the fact that Plaschke stuck up for Griese and Woody Page can't say anything about it. Next topic. The friggin' Bengals are tied with the Ravens for first place in the AFC North after upsetting the Chiefs on Sunday. The Patriots won 6 straight and lead the AFC East by 2 games after shutting out the Cowboys. Which coach has done a better job this season, Bill Belichick or Marvin Lewis? 15 seconds each. Plaschke, go.
This is a slam dunk. Marvin Lewis, no question. The Bengals, we haven't been talking about them for 14, 15 years. That's the last time they've been in playoff contention, the last time they've had a winning record. The Patriots seem to do this every year. I know they've had injuries, but they seem to do this kind of every year the last 4, 5, 6 years. The Bengals, he's changing the whole culture there.
You know they have injuries. I don't think you really know what kind of injuries they had. They've had injuries to Ty Law, Roosevelt Coleman's out, Ted Washington. They finished the game with Jameen Elliott as their receiver. They've got 6 rookies playing prominent roles on this team. Bengals have always had players. It's just they finally got a coach that can coach these guys. The Patriots, everybody's hurt.
What a homer! What a homer! Bill Plaschke, the defending champion, wins again in a sweep. Will you come back and join us tomorrow, Bill?
Yes, and I just want to say one more thing about Barry Bonds for all you guys who are now muted. We're living through a wonderful era of baseball. He's a wonderful player, and he's innocent until proven guilty. I know what he looks like and what it sounds like, but it's not there. If you don't have it, don't accuse him of it. Enjoy his for his baseball. He's the greatest hitter ever. Enjoy him.
Well, if everyone's foreheads are triple the size, you know, and so is his, it's a level playing field. That's going to do it, folks. We're on a 23.5-hour break. I'm on caffeine, Michael. See you Wednesday around the Horn.
What I meant to say was injury. Injury.
Do some investigating.
Around the Horn is a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For up-to-the-minute sports information, log on to ESPN.com.
You would have sports guys are going to ruin.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Tony, Britney's new album drops today. How you gonna celebrate?
I'm Tony Kornheiser. I will celebrate like I always do with a bottle of wine, the Paris Hilton sex tape, and my inflatable Beano Cook doll.
You had me until Beano cooked, okay? You had me until then.
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Wilbon and I discuss the quarterback in San Francisco, the National League MVP, and Keggy the Keg, the beer-inspired mascot. But we start, obviously, with the bombshell out of Tampa that the Buccaneers have declared Keyshawn Johnson inactive for the rest of the season and obviously have no plans of ever playing this guy again. They said, just get out. This comes after reports of an argument with Coach John Gruden. Mike, there's more than enough blame for the Bucs' dismal season to be passed around among many of Tampa's big-name, high-profile players. So I'm wondering why the axe dropped now on Keyshawn.
Inactive. They all but declared him radioactive.
That's exactly right.
Rich McKay just said a little while ago that, quote, in the big scheme of things, this is a problem. And he went on to talk about Keyshawn missing mandatory workouts and team functions during the season. He said it wasn't the meeting with Gruden that was sort of confrontational, where Keyshawn reportedly said, essentially, I don't want to play for you after this year. I'm not going to play for you. He said, McKay said, it was the disruption that was created after the meeting. We have not heard from Keyshawn yet, but that's from Rich McKay.
Well, in Keyshawn's history, problem with Wayne Corbett with the New York Jets, writing bad stuff about him. Problem with our boy Warren Sapp at Tampa Bay. Now, obviously, problem with Gruden, where unsolicited, he announced a few weeks ago the best coach he'd ever played for was Bill Parcells, who, by the way, is not coaching Tampa Bay.
You and he agree, though, on the Bill Parcells issue. I know. I would be upset if I was a head coach and this guy's continuing to talk about another coach who is still coaching somewhere else at a rival institution.
This is what they've got there. They're in the middle of a terrible season. So if you're Gruden, the pressure is going to get to Gruden. The spotlight is going to get to Gruden. So you fire one of your big name guys. It could have been Sapp. It could have been Lynch. It could have been Brad Johnson. But Keyshawn made it easy to make it Keyshawn.
Sapp or Lynch it wasn't going to be them, because they have been there for a long time for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Keyshawn Johnson came lately and is not as identifiable as a Buccaneer as, say, Sapp or Brooks.
Did he do it to himself?
I don't know. Keyshawn, did it hurt them on the field? I don't know that. Are they going to get better because Keyshawn's not there? I don't believe that either.
I don't think so.
I don't believe they
He's a big-time receiver.
The guy caught 50-plus balls this year.
Where's he going to play next year? You know he's going to play. Where's he going to play?
Washington?
Oh, well, that would be a spot.
Danny Snyder got the playing
Wouldn't that be a spot?
While the San Francisco 49ers are now 5-5 after Monday night's victory over the Steelers, the Niners are not without their own controversy. While trying to catch the Rams and Seahawks in the NFC West, Coach Dennis Erickson now has to decide, Tony, between young Tim Rattay, who has thrown 6 touchdowns to only 1 pick, and old Warrior and 3-time Pro Bowler Jeff Garcia, who says he has recovered from an injured ankle and expects to start Sunday. So, Tony, Niners, in or out? Garcia, in or out?
Niners out, because they are chasing 4 teams with 7-3 records, and they're not going to catch them and pass them. I'm saying even for the wild card, they're chasing too many people they're chasing. Garcia, I believe he's out, and I'll tell you why. Because Garcia was boys with Mariucci, but not with Dennis Eckersley.
And more importantly, perhaps,
Erickson, not Eckersley, as I was going to say.
With number 81,
Terrell Owens, who likes Rattay. Rattay has great numbers. They're winning with Rattay.
The deep ball.
And if you're Erickson, you're trying to establish your own personality with this team. You started out poorly. Now you're winning a couple of games. So I think he's going to stay with Rattay, don't you?
I think so.
And you love
I'm a Garcia guy.
That's right.
I still think he has value. He's 33 years old. I understand he's not as, 9 years older than Rattay?
Isn't he?
But Garcia is a proven
about to be a free agent? They may not have wanted to sign him anyway.
Season.
Bill Cowher, the Steelers coach, is the longest tenured head coach with the same team in the NFL. So I guess you have to respect him when he speaks. But, Mike, I don't know about what Cowher said last night after the loss to the 49ers. Quote, we have 6 games to play. We're 2 games out of first. We play everybody again. There's a realistic opportunity here, unquote. Are you buying Steelers in the playoffs?
It's a realistic opportunity that does exist. Am I buying it? No. It's like Tampa. You can't talk about running the table while you're losing consecutive games. The Steelers are 3-7. I don't know how many times in professional football history, any team, you can go to the USFL and the World League if you want, a team loses 7 of its first 10 and makes the playoffs. I don't see that.
They have big-time players on offense.
They do.
They got Hines Ward, they got Plaxico Burress, they got Tommy Maddox, who they were right in giving the team to. They got Randall.
What
happened? They were supposed to be a team that contended for the Super Bowl.
I'll tell you one thing I think happened. It's just a guess on my part. That has been a power football team with Bettis, the face of the Pittsburgh Steelers, after Cowher, and they benched him, and they decided to go away from that, and it was a power team that didn't have its identity, and it became something else.
Do you think Cowher is in any trouble at all?
No, nor should he be. Bill Cowher should be in no trouble whatsoever. I know firing the coach is everybody's first solution.
Well, it's happened.
Speaking of that, the first coaching casualty of the NBA season is Doc Rivers, who the Orlando Magic fired last night after the team's 10th consecutive loss. Now, I've followed Doc's basketball career since he was a sophomore at Proviso East High School just west of Chicago, and I'm biased in Doc's favor. I thought that team, without the services of Grant Hill, overachieved by making the playoffs 3 straight years. Tony, in that context, does 11 bad games at the start of this season justify canning Doc Rivers?
I wouldn't have canned him after 11, but he might have been canned after 21. That's a very bad team right now.
Yep, it is.
Grant Hill doesn't play at all and is never going to play, let's face it. You know, Tracy McGrady, who's a wonderful player, doesn't seem to make other people better than he plays with. They made a bad trade last year getting rid of Mike Miller, who was Tracy McGrady's pal and was a big-time scorer. The interesting thing to me is I don't think Doc Rivers' reputation will be hurt at all by being fired this early. In fact, Sam Smith of the Chicago Tribune told me this morning he thinks Doc Rivers could be a coach in the league with the New York Knicks by the end of the week.
Well, that's
what do you think of that?
End of the week is a little strong. They're going to be some other vacancies.
I hope I'm not the first to tell this to Don Chaney, by the way.
Well, I mean, look, Doc can be eligible for another gig soon. He's still an attractive candidate. Or go back to what something else he was very good doing.
Terrific
television.
on TV.
He and Doug Collins.
Terrific on
just
TV.
The best analyst.
But the fact of the matter is, that's a very bad team, and he didn't make it any better. He didn't make it any better.
You know what, Tony? You know what was south for them? When Grant Hill couldn't play,
Devastating.
they started to make other moves they would not have made because they got desperate about trading Mike Miller.
Yesterday, Wilbon and I were forced to do a dog and pony show for SportsCenter on the NL MVP race, as if there were actually a race. Wilbon, you built a case for Albert Pujols and Gary Sheffield before laughingly coming to your senses and realizing Barry Bonds should be the MVP. Well, the results are in. Bonds, 28 first-place votes. Pujols, 3. 1 for Sheffield, presumably yours, Wilbon. Of course it's Barry Bonds.
What are you gloating? You thumping your chest? Is that what you're doing now?
That's what I'm talking about, Willis.
What's the point? Of course it was going to be Barry Bonds. I was trying to make an intelligent case for two other people so we could do our routine here. I would have voted for Barry Bonds, too, I think, although Pujols had a great season.
Pitches to him. Remember yesterday we looked at his statistics and he only had 90 RBI? That's because nobody pitches to him.
Once there's somebody on base,
they don't pitch
they just give him a pass.
He now has 6 MVP awards, 3 more than anybody in the history of baseball.
There's only one thing I care about historically. Has he passed your childhood idol, Willie Mays, as a ball player? That's all I care about. What's your answer to that?
Nice of you to say. You used to say my childhood idol was Babe Ruth. No, he has not passed Willie Mays because he's my childhood idol.
You. Tony, you know I hate mascots, right?
Yeah.
I banned mascots in college and in the pros unless they could dunk, you know, like the gorilla. But now we've got this story out of New Hampshire. Dartmouth, in its search for a new mascot, has come up with Keggy the Keg, which is some stupid beer thing. Tony, you have a daughter at an Ivy League school.
That's right.
Is this beer obsession the kind of thing you're paying Ivy League tuition for? Is that what you're writing the big check for, big boy?
I got a daughter.
Keggy the Keg.
I got a daughter in the hotel school at Cornell, so actually she's on a beer scholarship. She takes a wine tasting course. She's going to do food and beverage someday, so I'm all for this. Look, have you ever been to Hanover, New Hampshire?
That's the only Ivy League school I've never been to.
You know why you haven't been there? Because you don't have snowshoes. You can't get in, you can't get out. Once you get in, all you do is drink.
How can it be worse than Cornell for snow?
It is worse, and Cornell has more people.
Has more snow than anywhere.
Not as much.
In the North Pole.
Not as much as Hanover.
So drinking's okay.
That's all they do is drink.
Tipping it's okay,
That's all they do is drink. I think it is a very creative mascot. I think it's the right mascot.
We in the Midwest.
We're taking a break. Oh, nobody drinks in the Midwest. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll get details on what led to Keyshawn's split with John Gruden. And later, will there be a quarterback change in St. Louis?
We got the Women's Christians Temperance Union in Evanston, and they wouldn't allow drinking for 100.
Pardon the interruption. Presented by New Smirnoff Ice Triple Black. Triple filtered for a crisp, clean bite. And in part by Kia Motors. Kia, make every mile count.
Our lead story is John Gruden dumping Keyshawn Johnson onto the inactive list for the rest of the year. And a friend and colleague, Shelley Smith, co-wrote Keyshawn's book, Just Give Me the Damn Ball. She talked to Keyshawn this afternoon. Shelley, I'm sure you're conflicted with this because you've known Keyshawn for so long. But what on earth is going on here?
Well, what I know is he went into Gruden's office. He was very unhappy with what was going on, mainly because they were losing. Went in and told Gruden, said, I will retire before I play for you in 2004. He said, but what I won't do is become a distraction. I'm not going to tell the media. I'm not going to talk to reporters. I'm going to go about my business and do my job. And from what I can tell, he's done that. And all of a sudden, they come out now by saying he's missed team meetings and he's missed mandatory workouts. I don't know anything about that, except for I do know if he wanted to be a distraction, he knows how to do that.
Well, Shelley, how far does this go back from what you can tell? I'm around the Buccaneers quite a bit the last couple of years. I had never heard of a split between John Gruden and Keyshawn. Did they ever get along? Did they not get along?
Well, it was very much love-hate. I think what happened last year is that it was probably the same relationship, but they were winning. This year, they're losing. Keyshawn was extremely frustrated. All he's really ever cared about is winning ever since he was in junior high. And he went to Gruden with ideas. He didn't feel like he was being used right. He didn't feel like he was being respected. And Gruden would listen, I guess, he said. And again, this is Keyshawn's side. I haven't talked with John Gruden, so I don't know. But Keyshawn really felt like he was being disrespected, that he wasn't part of the offense. He felt like Gruden felt he was no good. And so he said, that's it. I'm going to retire before I play for you. He put his house on the market. It's for sale. He said, anyone want to buy it? It's $1.8 million. So there you go.
Tony's got that kind of money sitting around right here on the set.
I may buy that house and I may rent it to you, Wilbon. Keyshawn, in his past, did not get along with Wayne Corbett. That was rather famous. Has not gotten along with Warren Sapp. That's rather famous. Now we find out he hasn't gotten along with John Gruden. You know him very well. Surely some of this is Keyshawn Johnson.
Well, I'm sure a lot of it is. There are a lot of people who don't like Keyshawn Johnson. They think he's mouthy. They think he's a fraud. I think he's incredibly loyal. He's been great to me and my family. But as a competitor, he is intense. And I can tell you that you don't have to get along with him on the field as long as things are done right and you're winning. And winning is the bottom line. And if you're losing, he's going to complain. It happened in high school. It happened in junior college. It happened with the Jets. And it's certainly happening now with Tampa Bay. First things he said to me this morning, he goes, I guess I'm gone. He goes, where should I go play? Where should I go take my $14 million contract? And then he said, tell everyone I'm shopping for apartments in New York.
Well, if he's shopping for apartments in New York, I can think of a couple of teams there. One particularly that he used to play for, the New York Jets. But, Shelley, he has talked lovingly about Bill Parcells and their relationship.
Which probably hurt him with John Gruden.
Might have hurt him with John Gruden.
Yeah.
But between Parcells and Herm Edwards in New York, are those the leading candidates for where we'll see Keyshawn next?
Well, I would say yes. That not knowing much, I said to him, he said, where should I go play? I said, well, go to Parcells, go to the Cowboys. I said, no, go to the Raiders. It's closer to home. And I went, no, they don't have a quarterback. Then he said, well, I'm looking for an apartment in New York. I said, oh my God, you're going back to the Jets. And he was very non-committal. But I know he does have a great respect for Herman Edwards and probably would love to make a triumphant return into the city.
I heard the thing you said before, that Keyshawn told you he was not going to go public with this. Given the fact that Tampa Bay went public with this today, and some of the things they said indicated that they felt he was irresponsible, and didn't show up at stuff he was supposed to, how likely is Keyshawn Johnson to, within the next 12 hours, hold a press conference and blast everybody in Tampa Bay?
Well, let me tell you this. He told me this morning he was not going to comment. The team asked him not to comment. The team that's courting him asked not to comment. And then he went on WFAN. He said, I want to hear what they say, and then we will respond. And I guarantee you, he believes if they say something stupid, and I don't know whether they have because I don't know everything that's going on there, he said, we will bury them. So.
Well, that's great. So it's a Khrushchev situation. Thank you, Shelley.
Thanks, Shelley.
We're taking a break, but when we come back, will A-Rod be playing for Texas next season? And LeBron has had a fast start, but will he start in the All-Star game? Woo! How many of our viewers know who Khrushchev is? How many? Welcome back to the PTI Psychic Hotline, where I use my extrasensory perception to foretell the future, and Wilbon just guesses randomly. Let's take the first call.
Yo, dudes, do you see A-Rod playing for the Rangers next season?
No! Someone's going to trade for A-Rod. Maybe it'll be the Mets. Maybe it'll be the Red Sox with a three-way with Nomar going someplace else. Maybe it'll be the Braves. Look, the guy doesn't talk to the field manager. He doesn't talk to the general manager. They want to get rid of him, and he's the best player in baseball. No, he's gone.
Saying he won't be playing for the Rangers is the easy part. If you were a seer of any renown, you'd know where he's going. You wouldn't give me this either-or scenario.
And you do?
He's going
to the Cubs?
To Wrigley Field.
You think he's going to the Cubs?
He's going to Chicago Cubs. He'll be playing every day there. See, sadly, you haven't asked me who the Cubs have to give up.
Who do they have to give up?
K. Wood.
And you would make that trade, because he's going to be a free agent, right?
He's going to be a free agent. And like Greg Maddux, 12 years ago,
and they have the money.
He could walk 10 years ago.
Wrigley,
they have the money.
Chicago
Plus,
Tribune has the money.
have to renegotiate down some for anyone to want.
He's already burned 3 years of the contract. It's not that onerous anymore. What's next?
Hey, guys, it's Mikey O here. Do you see Jason White winning the Heisman?
Of course he's going to win it. Last year I advocated for Ken Dorsey because he was the quarterback on the #1 team.
And you got that wrong.
Okay, he had to split the vote with a great running back, Willis McGahee. Jason White doesn't have to split it with anybody. His stats are better than Dorsey's. He's #1 in passer rating, #2 in TDs, 36 TDs to 6 picks.
Don't read. You always tell me that. Don't read.
No list. No list. Who's better than him?
He's going to win the Heisman Trophy. Yes. Now, you asked me who's better than him. Larry Fitzgerald,
He's very good.
the wide receiver at
Pittsburgh.
Pitt, is the best player in college basketball. And anybody who
But
doesn't
this is
believe
college football.
is an idiot.
This
It's
is
college football. College football. See, I've already seen into the future of the next
You
sport.
think he's going to go
next
play at
season.
Pitt?
Now, Larry Fitzgerald is the best player in college football.
Jason White's going to win the Heisman.
Yes, he is.
What's next?
Hey, guys, just wondering, do you see Marvin Lewis winning Coach of the Year?
No, not yet. Not yet. I got Belichick ahead of him. I got Parcells ahead of him. I got Vermeil ahead of him. Now, if he wins 10, and Mr. Wilbon will tell you, will he win 10? If he wins 10 and nobody wins more than 12, then Marvin Lewis gets the award. Look into the future,
The
Swami.
worst thing the Bengals could do is win 10 this year because it would ratchet up the expectations beyond all reason. He will win 9. He will win the division. But he
will
won't
not
win
win
Coach of the Year because Dick Vermeil will go 15-1
and he will win Coach of the Year.
Will win Coach
But
of the
here's
Year
the thing.
deservedly.
Are you with me finally that if you win 9 in your first year, you're Vince Lombardi
No,
of
I'm not.
Cincinnati?
And it's still a bad job. He has just done a great job.
It is a very good job, if not the best job, because the expectations were so low. What's next?
Hey, guys, I'm from Bowie, Maryland. Do you see Kurt Warner replacing Mark Bulger by the end of the season?
What are you, an idiot? Of course he's not going to do that. Mike Martz tried to make that move or thought about making a move on Sunday, and Kurt Warner said to him, stick with the kid. The kid will come through for you. Bulger wins that game, cements his position as the quarterback for the Rams. He has that team now.
Kurt Warner has done for the St. Louis Rams this year with that gesture what Drew Bledsoe did for the New England Patriots.
With Tom Brady.
With Tom Brady a couple of years ago when the Patriots went on to win the Super Bowl. That guy is teammate Kurt Warner, teammate of the year, and no, he does not come off the bench unless the kid gets
See, here's
injured.
the thing. Here's what this guy's from Bowie, Maryland. Here's what he has to understand. This is not a Doug Flutie, Rob Johnson situation in Buffalo where people were evenly split and who's
That's
better.
right.
Mark Bulger's better right now. He's better. What's next?
13-3.
What happened to this crystal ball?
Hey, Mike.
here?
Hey, Tony. This is William Whitted. And do you see LeBron and Carmelo starting in the All-Star game?
LeBron will start for the East. He will get more votes than anyone except
Allen Iverson.
He gets the second most votes in the East. Now, the problem that Carmelo has, the reason he won't make it, he's got to go through Nowitzki. He's got to go through Garnett. He's got to go through Duncan. He's not going to go through all those
Weber,
guys.
Karl Malone,
not
and you
gonna
get
do
the automatics of Shaq and Kobe. He's not going to do that. But
Now,
LeBron,
he will make the team.
He'll make
Carmelo
the team.
Anthony will be named to the team. He will play in the game, but not going to
LeBron
start.
cannot beat out. Well, he will beat out Baron Davis and Paul Pierce. Only
course
Allen
he will.
Iverson. Only Allen Iverson will get more votes. Tracy McGrady and Jason Kidd will get a lot of votes. They'll be edged out
They will
by
not
LeBron
get as many as LeBron because the people that have come to the NBA this year for the first time have come to see LeBron.
And they've already bought the jerseys.
He's the man.
He
He's
is the man.
Time for a break. Don't go anywhere because we still got to talk about what happened to this stupid crystal ball and developments in the lives of Liza Minnelli and Michael. Don't you dare call me Mike. Vic. The crystal ball went out. I thought you had powers.
I do have powers.
Well, you just
I could
extinguished
knock
the crystal ball.
ball over if I wanted
It
to.
stinks.
Pardon the interruption. Presented by New Smirnoff Ice Triple Black. Triple filtered for a crisp, clean bite. And in part by Bank of America. Higher standards.
Happy time, people. Happy 75th birthday to Mickey Mouse. The scrawny little rodent is pretty close to packing it in, heading for that big cheese ball in the sky. What about Mickey Mouse? Overrated or underrated?
I guess we're supposed to suck up to the company, but the Flintstones, Spider-Man, Johnny Quest, and Bullwinkle, those are my favorite cartoons. None of them are Disney cartoons.
Yeah, Bullwinkle signing your checks. Bullwinkle doing that. A not-so-happy anniversary to Joe Theismann. On this day 18 years ago, Lawrence Taylor broke your leg, ended your career. 2 broken bones in Theismann's right leg, including one which stuck up through his uniform sock. I cannot watch this. I won't watch it. Wilbon?
I was there. I didn't watch it then. I won't watch it now. We know Joe Theismann. We like him a lot.
Happy trails, Mike Vick. It's Michael from now on. Vick says, quote, they tried to call me Mike Vick at Virginia Tech, and then I got hurt. Now it happened again. It's Michael Vick. That's the name my mother gave me, and I want to honor it, unquote. Wilbon, I've always called him Michael Vick, as I call my own son Michael, so I never changed. I don't have to change back.
Speaking as a Michael, I don't want men calling me Michael. Men, Mike. It's more manly, not Michael.
You have issues.
Mike.
Time to find out what we messed up. Stat board.
All right, here's Keyshawn's stats. What ends the season with 45 catches for 600 yards. Earlier this season, notched career reception number 600, second fastest in the history of the game to it, behind Marvin Harrison. One more important note about Keggy the Keg, the Dartmouth mascot, not the official mascot. They're still looking for one. That's proposed by the humor magazine of the school.
Yeah, shocking that Keggy
There's
the
no
Keg is not the
noteworthy
official
of Keggy the
mascot
Keg,
of Dartmouth
please.
at the moment. We're running out of show. You ready for the big finish?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Michael Strahan, our boy, says THG users deserve punishment, and anyone who takes it is an idiot. Your thoughts?
Michael, who you calling an idiot, dude? And you know, I'm shooting it up. UConn struggled in beating Yale. What does it mean, Tony?
Resurgence of Ivy League basketball. The Blazers suspended Bonzi Wells 2 games for cursing his coach. Is that okay by you?
Yeah, it's fine. The captain lost his captaincy and cursed the guy who was just given a 5-year extension who should have left town. 14-year-old Freddie Adu signed a 6-year deal to play for DC United. Your predictable thoughts, Tony?
At the end of 6 years, when he's 38 years old, he'll be an AARP. Last one. Liza Minnelli countersuing David Gast, saying he stole her money. Go ahead, defend your boy.
Is Liza my boy?
No.
I'm not defending either one of those.
It should be a steel cage death match. We're out of time. Try and do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
And I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow.
Wouldn't you like to see that steel cage?